I'm going to quick walk through these types of decisions that we make. And then Andy and I are going to go through how we did this throughout the year. It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. So, high level recap. The first, not a recap because I haven't capped this. So this couldn't be a recap because I haven't even capped it yet. So this is like the pre-cap. Yeah. Fuck yeah, Rob. That's a good one. So the first decision you make in an operating company is your production related decisions. Who's going out to clean that thing? Where are they going? How much fuel is it going to cost us? What supplies are on that truck? What tools are on that truck? How are you going to fix the burnt spot where Andy burned it on the lawn? And are you going to swipe her card or take a check? And what kind of uniform is the guy wearing? Basically, like any decision related to the guy going out or the girl going out to do the work, production related decision, that's our cost of goods sold. Literally, like, what's it going to cost us to go do that job right now? The money that's left after we go do that job is what we call gross margin. As the business owner, that's the money you have left to reinvest. Once you do a job, like you sell a job in window cleaning, 40%, 45% of your money's gone. You only ever get to keep about 55%. The minute you do a job, 45% is gone. But now you still have 55%. So you got to decide, are you going to keep all 55%? Or are you going to reinvest it to grow the business? You're probably going to reinvest it to grow the business. When you're going to reinvest it, you have 4 reinvestment decisions to make. And we break this down on our P&L as such, because you need to see how much you're spending on these areas. And like I said, we have targets. We generally know how much you should be spending on these areas to reinvest in your business. Hold on, I need a swig of beer. That's a lot of talking. All right. The first investment decision you make, most of the time, is marketing. Where are you going to go get your next client? You just did Mrs. Jones's house. Now you got to go find your next client. So we have these marketing decisions, our client acquisition decisions. What ads are we running? Who's running them for us? What type of software do we have to make the most of our website, of our, Google reviews with broadly or nice job or whatever we're using? Anything that's designed to like get a lead in the door and make ourselves look sexy, marketing, that's usually the first thing we reinvest in. We do that investment. And now we got all these leads coming at us and we go, oh shit, I need to make another investment to handle this amount of lead flow. So we invest in a human to answer the phone, to go out and do an estimate, to do quality checks, to do follow-ups, to be a nerdy bookkeeper and measure all this stuff for you. We call that administrative overhead. Rob, why are you laughing? You need a nerd. You got to have a nerd. So administrative overhead is our second investment decision. It's investing in people behind the scenes to run the business. These are the people that aren't out in the field. These are the people that are in the office or out selling stuff to try to convert those leads into clients and try to keep them happy and try to keep track of everything. Administrative overhead. It's the second thing we invest in. The third thing we invest in is we say, oh crap, now I got like these guys out in the field and I got all this marketing happening. So I got an office manager and a salesperson and everybody's just coming to my house, right? I need to invest in some infrastructure and everybody's using paper and pens. I need to invest in some software and some internet and all these things that are recurring bills. So the third investment we make is in infrastructure to house all this shit we just added to our business. So we have rent, we have liability insurance, we have utility bills, we have software bills, we have interest for the vehicles that we finance. Basically anything that is a recurring bill that you pay month after month after month after month, and it's generally about the same dollar amount, that's our fixed overhead. That's our infrastructure costs. It can totally get out of hand as you scale too, because you're like, well, we need a bigger location, right? The trick with these last couple buckets is our customers aren't willing to pay us for it. If we're like, oh, this is Jones, we got to raise your price because we just rented a bigger facility. That's the same as when an employee comes and tells you like, hey, Andy, you got to pay me more money because I just bought a sports car. And you're like, go pound sand, dude. Like that was a stupid decision that you made. Sounds like your problem. It'd be the same as if we told the customer, hey, Mrs. Jones, you owe me more money because I just, had to go rent a bigger facility. This infrastructure is super important to make sure that like, yeah, you need more infrastructure to grow, but it sucks up your money and your customers aren't generally willing to pay you for it. So we want to keep that in check, Rob.
Andy, we have we moved from my backyard to a 12,000 square foot warehouse.
Holy.
And so we went from paying $0 and me writing off every possible thing on our property that I could to we're paying, I think, about $6,000 a month now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oof.
But of course, me being a crazy, we'll end up hopefully being able to buy the property, buy the building behind us and the cell tower that's on the property, and then another location at some point. So in like the next 2 years, like talking with bankers, like, okay, so what do I need to do now to prepare to buy it in like a year or two? Because the term of our lease right now is us paying about $300,000, and I'm like, I should probably try and find a way, but like it's what we got and the amount of money that it's been phenomenal. So
that's your fixed overhead. That's your big like infrastructure decisions. And a good way to look at it is whether you do twice as much money, twice as much revenue next month, or half as much revenue next month, your bills stay the same, right? So you're locked in.
Yep.
It's like proactive types of decisions. The last bucket is your variable overhead. It's still shit your customers generally won't pay you for, but it goes up and down. It's not locked in. It's reactive types of decisions. It's, oh God, that equipment just broke or that truck just broke. Is it hand me the roll of duct tape, or is it we got to take it in? And like my cam phasers just went out on my truck. So Andy, your Blue Skies window washing truck that's in my driveway is parked there for like another month before I can get it in the shop. The cam phasers are out. Still advertising on my block though.
Well, and you'd given that example too. Like a couple of years ago, you guys had a whole mess of, it's like some repair needed to be done, but it's like, cash sucks right now. And then all of a sudden you're like, cool, you guys just spent $1,500 on a repair that could have waited till March.
Yeah, you're right. We totally did that in Cincinnati. We like spent $1,500 and it was like, dude, it's November, man. We could have just parked that vehicle for like 5 months and it would have been fine.
YouTube how to fix that for like the next 5 months. And
it would be fine. So repairs and maintenance is a big one in variable. Recruiting, the 30 grand that we spent was half of our variable costs last year, a little bit more than half of our variable costs. Meals and entertainment, travel, employee engagement. If we're going to like throw a party for our employees because we want them to think of people. Beer. Did I not mention beer? Beer's a good one. So it's all those like reactive things. Are you going to the convention? Are you fixing it this way? Are you fixing it that way? The interesting thing, and if we like scroll over to our Q1 here, when we're doing nothing, January, February, our variable costs here for everybody on the podcast, January, $587, February, $931. March, we started ramping up. March variable costs, $5,033. April, $8,753. We're spending a shit ton of money on recruiting. We're spending a shit ton of money getting the vehicles ready to go for the busy season. And so variable costs ebb and flow with the level of activity in your business. Like I said, it's all the reactive stuff. The timing of it tends to go when you're busier and have more revenue coming in. You're spending more money on these things as like an investment to keep the revenue coming in.